This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, guys, let's go to the remote desktop connection. Right, guys, log into the SAP HANA system. So generally, guys, the HANA systems we access them under HANA Studio. A lot of people know this. So this is like a platform where we can access and work with the HANA systems. Okay, HANA Studio is a platform. Same BW systems access through NetWeaver platforms. In the same manner, for HANA, we do have a studio. Okay, so it is already installed in your server. Okay, so what we do is first initially, so let's open the HANA Studio. Okay, HANA Studio, it's being an SQL server, guys. You never see the transaction codes, nothing you see. Okay, it's a plain studios, okay, plain system. So first, initially, okay, to work with the HANA systems, okay, the visualization is, I can say the platform on which we work with the HANA systems is HANA Studio. I know a lot of people know this part, but still, so some covering from the basics. So this is the studio. So once we log into the studio, okay, so this is the search option. So okay, if you want to add a system here, so you have to search for systems. I do I close everything. I delete my system also. Let's delete everything. I'm deleting everything. What are the saved work I have? So once you log into the studio, you see a studio like this, guys. Okay. So once we logged into the studio, the first thing, always keep it in, the first thing you have to choose is here. There is an option called Open Perspective. Forget about the systems. I'm gonna add the system at later stage. So here there is an option called Open Perspective. So there are multiple perspectives you can choose to work with. Okay, so guys, out of which we do have 6 major perspectives under SAP HANA. So this is the option. So open perspective. Okay. Okay. So the major perspectives we have under SAP HANA are, the first one is HANA modular perspective. So we should be very sure about the perspectives on which we're working. So we have HANA development perspective also, guys. See here you can see major perspectives. If I open the perspective, so this one HANA modular perspective, HANA development perspective, HANA administration console perspective. So these are the three major, and also along with this JavaScripts were not so important for us. There's a perspective called BW modeling, and there was a perspective called ABAP. So these are the five major perspectives: HANA administration console. And fourth one we have is BW modeling perspective. And fifth one we have is ABAP perspective, guys. So generally, okay. So generally, if you're creating any, if you want to create this calculation views, analytic views, and do the HANA modeling, guys. So if you're working on the modeling perspective of SAP HANA, so the perspective we have to choose is SAP HANA modeler perspective. So this deals with if you're making any OLAP operations. Okay. Okay. If you're dealing with OLAP, if you're doing some OLAP operations on HANA, the perspective we choose is HANA modeler. So here majorly we can design this calculation views, okay, analytic views, attribute views, etc. So these are the HANA models. Also, you can deal with data loading like SLDB, ODS. So these all are part of modeler perspective only. Okay. So if you're dealing with the OLAP operations of HANA, so the perspective we have to choose is HANA modeler perspective. If you're developing some applications in the OLTP part of HANA, okay, if you're creating any applications using SQL, or you're developing something using an SQL, so if you're making some native development in the OLTP part of HANA, so then we go with HANA developments. So I can say OLTP application building, okay, will happen using this HANA development perspective. So majorly they use SQL. Okay. So an administration is majorly a basis stuff. Okay. So generally basis will come as a HANA admin, BW people will come as HANA modelers. ABAPers and SQL developers mostly work on HANA development part. Okay. So our major perspective is HANA modeler always. So keep that in mind. So this is our perspective. We don't work on administration and development much. Okay. The major perspective for a BI consultant is always a modeler perspective. We will do some operations in development also that I'll discuss later stage, but majorly on modeler. And if you're working with any BW on HANA, so if you're working with some BW powered by HANA objects, if you're working with some BW objects like advanced DSO composite orders, which I'll discuss at later stage, okay, or BW4 HANA, we're developing with some. So okay, say now BW powered by HANA, B4 HANA, both are same, almost same. So if you're working with some BW objects of SAP HANA in the HANA Studio, so the perspective we choose is BW modeling perspective. Okay. If you're making some ABAP development, guys, in the OLTP application layer, we can develop using SQL script or we can develop using ABAP, both the ways. Okay. We can develop using either SQL or ABAP. If you're developing using SQL, then we choose majorly the perspective as HANA development. If you're choosing some if you're developing some applications, sometimes what we do, guys, some applications which are not giving performance on ECC, okay, in the web applications we can migrate into HANA and you can run the applications here. So generally if you are majorly working on ABAP development of HANA, or we can call it as ABAP on HANA, making any ABAP related work on HANA, the perspective we choose is ABAP on HANA, ABAP perspective. So these are the 5 major perspectives we have in SAP HANA, guys. So majorly our work stands here. Okay, these are our perspectives. Not make it, I guess. So our major perspectives are HANA modeler perspective and BW modeling perspective, guys. As part of native HANA modeling, so we will majorly use this perspective, HANA modeler perspective, as part of BW powered by HANA B4 HANA modeling, BW4 HANA modeling. So we'll use this BW modeling perspective. These two are majorly for BW consultants. HANA administration is the major perspective for basis. HANA development and ABAP. Okay, HANA development and ABAP, these are the major perspectives where an ABAP guy works or an SQL developer works. SQL developers majorly work on HANA development. ABAPers majorly work on ABAP, but sometimes ABAPers will also take care of HANA development. So these are majorly coding OLTP development perspectives. HANA modeler is an OLAP development perspective. BW modeling is BW integration with HANA. And okay, and basis is the perspective which deals with HANA administration console. So these are our perspectives, modeler and BW modeling. So let's begin. Let's choose the perspective as HANA modeler first. So always you log in, guys. Whenever you make a login, so please make sure.
I had the secure storage is locked. That's a message. But I'm not able to unlock it.
You getting an error, Padma?
Yeah. Secure
Yeah, yeah.
storage is locked.
Okay, okay. Just a minute. I'll solve it and after the session. It's very simple. I'll show you. And that is like a problem with normal servers. This is not a real time server. So I'll show you how to fix it.
Okay.
Okay. So generally now first choose your perspective as HANA modeler perspective. Okay. So let's choose the perspective as HANA modeler. Let's say open the perspective now. Okay. So once you open, so okay, first choose the perspective as HANA modeler. Say open. Okay, now the modular perspective. We are in the modular perspective, but you always see a plain system, guys. So now the step one. So now we choose in the perspective. Step one. Okay. Let's add HANA system to Studio. To work with the HANA system, first you have to add it into the Studio. So how do you add the HANA system to the Studio? Means it's very simple. So in the search bar, you find the search bar here. So click on the search. So there you can type for systems. So type systems, search for systems, and say OK. It will open the systems tab of HANA. Okay, so in the systems tab, you can add your systems and you can add your HANA systems here. So how to add a HANA system? It's quite simple. You can right click, pick the option, add system, or here you go here. Simple, you just click your cursor there. There is an option called add system. So these are the two ways. So let's say add a system. So then it will ask for host name, instance number, and everything. Let's go to the remote server desktop, guys. In the desktop of remote server, we maintain a notepad. See here. So you can use this notepad. So this notepad contains all the credentials like BO credentials, BW credentials, B4 HANA, ECC, all the credentials. So this is my HANA Studio HANA credentials. Why they're saying Studio? HANA 2.0 credentials. First name is SAP BS, instance number is 00. Okay, I give the host name as SAP BAS. Instance number is 00. So description of this system is a single container system. Multiple containers, tenant database are discussed later stage. Okay. So I go with an option of Hana Dev. So description is your choice. You can give whatever description you want. Okay. I give the host name, instance number, description of my choice, Hana development system. Okay. So language, English, United States, say next. So then it will ask for username and password. Username and password is also maintained here. So username is Hana, password is welcome123 W caps. Okay. So I give the username as Hana, password is welcome123 W caps. Okay. So I go with the next. So this is your host name. So this is your port. I'll discuss what is the port. So this is your host name. So now let's say finish. Nothing to do, simply finish. Once you click on finish, your system will be automatically added to the HANA Studio. Okay. It's quite simple adding HANA system to the studio. Okay. So once your system is added, so then you can start working with the HANA system. Step 1, go and choose your prospective as HANA modeler first. And step 2, let's add your HANA system to the studio. Okay. So if you want me to show again, you're comfortable. Simple, just click on add new system, provide first name and instance number. Just a minute, please. Okay. Right. So he just give the host name, instance number, and description, and just provide username and password, guys. It's very quite simple to add a HANA system. Okay. Once your system is added, so you don't need to add it on a daily basis, guys. For suppose if I close my studio, exit the HANA Studio completely, and come back to my HANA Studio. Okay, you'll straight away see the system is already added. Once you added, you can see it. You just need to log on. That's it. Right click and say log on. Right click on your system, say log on to your system, and simply provide the password. Welcome123 W caps. That's it. You can use
Can you
username
tell
best
me
also,
how
not
to
only.
remove that? Secure storage is
Napad.
locked. Can you tell me how to
Yes.
remove that? I've tried all the ways.
Okay, I'll do one thing. If your secure storage is locked, just a minute. I'll log in with your user. I'm taking your user.
Yeah, I'll come out of it.
No, it will automatically log off. If I'm logging,
Yeah, it will log out. Yeah.
it will automatically log off. Just a minute. But this is like a silly stuff. There is nothing technical in it.
Okay,
Actually,
36.
yeah. And this is my server problem.
Oh,
Sometimes you face this issue
mm.
where your secure storage is locked. Once you go to the system, you get like this. Right now, see here, so she was in modeler perspective, and in the systems you get this kind of error. In that, when you get an error, simply try to add a system. Say same stuff you do, add system. Say PBS, just provide the username, the host name, instance number. So just give some description. Okay, next. So when you're providing username password, you get an option here, secure storage. So go to the
Okay.
secure storage. So in the secure storage, go to contents. So there is a default storage, means already the username and password. If you remember your username and password, it will
Mhm.
create this kind of errors. So let's delete this. It will restart your HANA Studio. So now you can start adding.
Okay. Okay.
Coming out.
Thank you. I think now it's gone.
Hmm. Now you don't face. If you get any same kind of error in the future,
Yeah.
anyone, it might be faced by everyone. So if you get, so try to add the system. You go to secure storage. In the content, just remove the default storage. Once it is resolved in a use, once it is solved in a user, you don't face it again. Maybe in maybe Santosh and Faiz, your users already I fixed them, so you might not face it. So Padma, maybe even also it was fixed for you, your
Yeah.
user
Now
as
it's
well.
good.
So
Yeah. It's good.
okay. So yeah, once we connect the system, so if you see it as green, so all services started, so absolutely fine. If you want to see the details of the system, simply click on the system, select your system, and here you find an option called administration. You see two tools. If you click on administration, you see the configuration of the system. So the system is good right now. It is in green. The system is had a start. There was some backup happened on July 12th. The system is HANA 2.0 system. Okay, with service pack 03, guys. Generally, if I go with versions of SAP HANA, when HANA was introduced into the market, it is HANA 1.0 service pack 00. So then we had service pack 1, 2, HANA 1.0, service pack 12, service pack 12 or 11, I guess. Yeah, 11. So there is no service pack 12. So after service pack 11, so we straight away migrated our HANA system to HANA 2.0. So right now the latest service pack is SP5, SP5 or SP6 something, SP5 I guess. Okay. But we are using SP3 service pack 3. It's okay. This is a very recent thing. It's HANA 2.0 service pack 3. Okay, and this was built in 2018 August 31st. Okay, it's a pretty new system only. It was upgraded on July 12th. So the platform on which this HANA system operated is SUSE Linux platform. Okay, so the hardware means the server, the system in which I installed this HANA system is a Dell. It's a Dell system. That's nothing else. Okay. So now, so here the in-memory, it's an in-memory database, right? So with the RAM space we have is 87 GB RAM. Okay, so it's like an in-memory data. This systems, this Dell systems RAM size is 87 GB. Okay, it's a good RAM. Okay, right now the usage is 32, and in during peak usage is 79.58, which is a very good. So 87 GB is a good stuff. So it's an 87 GB RAM system with a disk space of around 750 GB. Okay, 718 GB. Anyway, we frequently delete the unwanted data, so we maintain the system in a proper manner. So this is the configuration of your. So if you want to, when you go to any company, you can check the properties of your system in this administration tab. Okay, and we have some landscape where we can see the servers. I'll speak about these servers: index servers, script server, access engine servers. I'll speak about these servers at a later stage. But this is mostly an admin part, but having basic knowledge is always an advantage. So I close this administration. So this is about these are the details of your HANA system. So once you open the HANA system, you got 4 folders under your HANA system: catalog folder, content, provisioning, and security folders we do have under HANA. So we do have catalog folder, content folder, provisioning, security. Okay, guys, catalog folder deals with database objects completely. So all database operations placed under catalog folder. I can see it deals with database objects like, okay, you can create some tables. Okay, we create procedures, store procedures, schemas we have. So these are the objects we can create. All the database objects and like triggers, column views. So these are some objects, etc., etc. So what are the database objects we create in HANA? So this database, all these database objects we created under catalog folder. Okay. So modeling objects are created under content folder. Okay. So generally content folder deals with your modeling objects. Means all the modeling objects. Okay, so we see them under content folder like calculation views, analytic views. So these are modeling objects we have in SAP HANA. Attribute views. So these are 3 types of objects. So we do have something like decision tables. These are some objects we have as part of modeling. Analytic privileges. So these are some objects we do have as part of modeling. Modeling for and a content folder majorly deals with your model. So whatever the activities we do as part of database, they all will be part of catalog folder. And what are activities we do as part of modeling, so they will be part of they all will be created under content folder. And generally, so these ETL, I can say guys, I can say extracting data from SAP or non-SAP. What are general SAP systems? We have ECC, BW, CRM, etc., etc. Or non-SAP systems like Oracle, Microsoft. Okay, big data. Okay, so loading, extracting data from SAP or non-SAP systems into HANA database. So, and what are the tools we do have to extract the data is SLT, BODS, and Smart Data Access, right? I can say using SLT, BODS, data services, not DS. BODS means BO stands for business objects, DS stands for data services. So right now we're calling it as data services because BO was the name of a company. So we simply call it as DS. So extracting systems, okay, loading data from SAP and RI system, HANA database using SLT or DS or smart data access is known as. We simply call these concepts as data provisioning under SAP HANA. So this provisioning folder deals with extraction, extraction tools like SLT, STA. SLT BODs is a separate tool. I'll discuss later what is provisioning. So generally, we have four folders under when we create HANA system. We come across four folders. Catalog folder deals with uh, database operations. Content folder deals with modeling operations, and provisioning folder and this provisioning folder deals with okay. So provisioning folder deals with the extraction part. And then we got another folder called security. Security deals with users and roles. So so whenever we have a new developer, so we'll create a user for the developer, right? And what activities he can perform, that's nothing but roles. Okay. So these are the four types of folders we do have when we create a HANA system. We'll focus on all the four in detail. Okay, but first we'll start with the catalog folder about database objects, tables, and stored procedures. Okay, then we'll go to modeling. Then we'll go to provisioning. So how to extract tables from SLT, from ECC into HANA using SLT and data services and smart data integration. So then once we have the tables, then we can start creating the models on those ECC tables. Okay, guys, I don't want to do the modeling on normal tables. I want to do it the data on proper ECC finance sales tables. So we'll keep the modeling for last. And once modeling is done, I'll show you how to create users and roles. So these are the four major folders we do have under HANA system. So the first folder we start with is database operations. Let's begin with database operations first. And we will start working on catalog folder initially. Okay, only some 4 to 5 sessions will focus majorly on catalog folder. Then we'll move back to provisioning as soon as possible. Clear, everyone? Clear so far? Clear? Faiz, Santosh, Chandrasekhar.
Yes, sir, clear for me.
Okay, so you guys can copy this, please. Just let me know once you're done.
Are you going to upload the these recordings, right?
Upload this recordings, everything.
Satya, what happened? Sorry?
Padma, actually, they are copying this up. I'm giving you notes.
Done, sir. Copy.
Okay, right. So, guys, from tomorrow, once we start the database operations, don't make any copy. This file itself, I'm going to upload in the drive because I write lot of SQL stuff. Okay, so not that statements will be quite confusing if you start making copy. So I'll what are the statements I write in studio, I'll start copying here. You can use these statements. You'll be writing some procedures and everything. Okay, and hope I guess you people have a knowledge, basic knowledge of SQL, right?
Yeah.
Padma, I guess you have basics of SQL. Padma might be having. Sandeep, I guess you have. I know that. Chandrasekhar, Pai, Santosh. Padma, you have SQL కదండి SQL ఉంది కదా.
Yeah, I worked in SQL Server and Oracle.
ఓకే అంటే మీకు హానా ఎస్క్యూఎల్ అనేది ఇట్స్ లైక్ చైల్డ్ స్టఫ్ లా ఉంటుంది కొంచెం.
That's fine. It's like a refresh for me. I'm doing it.
ఏం లేదు వన్స్ ఐ రైట్ some basic stored procedures I write so that I can
Yeah.
use those procedures under models. Chandrasekhar, any
Yeah.
idea on SQL?
No, sir. I don't have any basic new to me.
No
Totally.
idea. Okay,
Yeah.
new to us. So I'll share you some material and SQL, but you will understand this part. Hanaకి ఏంటంటే కొంచెం we need some basics of SQL. BW కి ఏంటంటే it has got no. Okay. But Hana Kennedy, if you get some basics of SQL, so it will be quite advantage for you.
Oh.
And SQL అనేది don't think it's like a heavy code or something. Means I don't want you to learn the complete end to end of SQL part. Okay, very basic statements you have to learn. I'll give you the set of that statements. You spend hardly 2 to 3 hours, you can learn them.
Okay.
Just 2 to 3 hours. Okay. So files, I'll share you the doc. Okay, my SQL doc, which will help you out.
Sure, sir. Sir, I know MySQL queries. Will it be similar to this, or
No,
is it any difference in this?
any SQL is same, almost 80%. HANA SQL, PLSQL, MySQL, almost everything is 80 to 90% same.
Yeah, then it's
Very
easy for
difficult.
me. Yeah.
Okay, then comfortable with SQL. Santosh. So I do one thing. So I go to the catalogs where I can see all my database objects. So here, this using a lot of objects with this symbol, right? This is a schema. So what is a schema means? So guys, if you want to write any SQL statement to create any database object, select here, select anywhere. Just click somewhere, so you see the SQL option is enabled. See, this SQL option will be enabled. So just select the SQL. It will open SQL console for this HANA system. So here you can write your SQL codes, whatever you want. So first, once I move to the catalog, in the catalog you're seeing a lot of objects with this symbol. So these are schemas. Okay. So now let's understand about the schema first. Anything written after double hyphen, it's a comment. So I can say, guys, database schema. Okay. Database schema is a collection of, can say, is a collection of database objects owned by a user. Every schema will have a owner. Every schema will have owner. If you create the schema, you will be owner for the schema. If I create the schema, I will be the owner. Every schema will have an owner. Okay, owned by a user. So schema is like a just collection of database objects. So you can create the schema. Under the schema, you can collect tables, you can collect procedures, you can collect views. Same. And if I speak in BW perspective, it's same like info area. Where you can create info cubes, DSOs, info objects, everything under the info area, right? The same way, so HANA database objects will be created under database schema. Will be always created under schema. So anything you write after double hyphen, it's a comment, guys. Comment means it has got no value. I'm creating a schema. So how do you create a schema? So I say create schema. So whatever the name of the schema I'm giving is something like HANA 51, 52, 52. 52 is the name of the batch number for HANA. To create schema 52, so end with semicolon. Any statement that ends with a semicolon, and so any name we'll always write it in double quotes. Anything you write in double quotes, it's a name. So let's select that and say execute. If you select one statement and execute, only this statement will be executed. If you don't select any statement, execute, it will execute all the three statements. So though we execute all the three statements, first are anyway comments, so not a problem. So let's execute this statement. If you see the statement in black, it is success, there is no issue. If it is in red, then it is a failure. So then the system will create a schema called HANA 52. I go to the catalog, right click on the catalog, so refresh your catalog once. Top. You find HANA 52, your schema is created now successfully. So if you open your schema, you see some folders like tables, triggers, views. So these all are the objects that can be created under the schema. So right now, if you open the tables folder, nothing you see. It's plain and blank. It should be copied. Why can't we copy it? Okay, I can export this file also. Fine. So I'm creating a file in the remote server. So I'll be saving the data in the file. Try to get this file. Okay, every day what are the data statements are right. I'll save it in the file and I'll share it with you. So we created a schema. So then we can start creating the tables, but okay, if I start the table I cannot work now, so I stop here for today. In the next class, what we do is we'll start creating the tables. We'll completely focus on tables and we'll complete this tables part tomorrow. Okay, so one day for tables, one day for triggers and sequences. Okay, one day for select queries, and some 2 days on procedures. So next 5 days we're gonna focus heavily on this, what we say, this database part where we write some SQL statements. So modeling, and I can say modeling and extraction, there is no SQL much. Okay, extraction zero SQL. Modeling also it's very limited. Only in the database we use some extensive SQL statements, but they are quite simple. I say that. Okay, SQL, learning SQL is like learning some 10th class syllabus. Okay, right. I stop here, guys. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.
Satya?